and welcome to State of Events. I'm Maya Church.
And I'm Haley Vetterline.
Cal State faculty are getting the pay raise they spent the last year negotiating. The system-wide strike is canceled after the California Faculty Association and CSU administration have a new contract agreement for the next 3 years. State of Events correspondent Michelle Gong has the details.
Members of the California Faculty Association and California State University Administration have reached a tentative salary agreement. The contract will increase salaries for all faculty by 10.5% over 3 years and double how long it takes newly hired instructors to be eligible for retirement benefits. The largest incremental increase will come at the end of this fiscal year on June 30th at 5%. The contract comes after faculty from all 23 CSU campuses threatened to strike to protest stagnant and decreasing salary and funding.
We're here because we love it. We're here because it's very important to us. Faculty should be valued in what they can offer, and I think that the current structure does not adequately do that, and I think that what we have won in this Fight for Five campaign is a really tremendous step forward.
Now, even though the CFA and the CSU board have avoided a strike, the fight continues. Many say it is about more than just a pay raise. It's about giving adequate funding in support to those who matter most in academia, the faculty and the students.
So we've seen this sort of neoliberal shift towards privatizing education through putting more of the burden of tuition on to students, and that's happening at the same time that working conditions for professors are declining and that student class size is becoming larger in order to support this kind of neoliberal shift.
Ethnic Studies professor and CFA board treasurer Phil Klasky says that the board has been disingenuous to the CSU's mission.
They're not paying attention to our mission. And it's sad. It's really sad. We need to have permanent, full-time positions that pay an adequate wage. So we're locked into this for the next 2 years, and we'll have to fight this again.
Negotiations for a new contract are set for 2018. Reporting from SF State in San Francisco, Michelle Gong, State of Events.
19. That is the number of UC Berkeley employees who have violated the prestigious university's sexual misconduct policies. The newest sexual harassment case involved UC Berkeley executive assistant Tyann Sorrell, who says for nearly a year she was sexually harassed, touched, and kissed by her boss, the dean of the university's law school. And when she complained about it, the university did little, and in fact expected her to continue to work for them while her claims were being investigated. Turns out Sorrell's sexual harassment allegations are not unique. Out of the 19 UC staff members that have been investigated since 2011, 11 of them were terminated or resigned, 3 were suspended or warned, 2 of them were demoted, and 1 had their salary cut. UC Berkeley spokesman Dan Mogoloff says the university has formed a committee on sexual violence, harassment, and assault, and much more. The real proof will be to see what happens going forward with how these cases are dealt with.
Moms and dads will now have time to care for their newborns. A new parental leave law has just been passed in San Francisco. Lindsay Regis has the details.
Here at City Hall, San Francisco's Board of Supervisors voted to approve a 6-week paid parental leave. This decision will help those parents who cannot afford to take time off, but small businesses believe this is just an added expense. Supporters gathered around City Hall to hear the outcome of paid parental leave in San Francisco. This parental leave bill is the first city in the nation to get approved. Kim Turner was one of many people who spoke up about changing 55% leave to 100%.
With the employer's help, it's actually simply possible to stay in the workforce and have a new child.
Alfonso Jackson explains how it is not possible to support a child on 55% paid parental leave as a single father.
They can have a better lifestyle for them and their family. They could be at home and raising their children and don't have to send them to some daycare to some other person raising their children.
On the other hand, Mark Dwight, CEO of Rickshaw Bag Works, had a slightly different perspective on the subject.
What it does to businesses in San Francisco, big and small, is it puts them at a competitive disadvantage regionally to businesses that are right across our county line.
With the high cost to run a business in San Francisco, this may alter some of the benefits he provides. Small business owners countered that this is the latest in city mandates, including health coverage and paid sick leave. Supervisor Scott Weiner pushed for paid leave as a step to address income equality.
And parents shouldn't have to decide whether they spend time to bond with a new child or pay the rent and put food on the table.
Employers with 20 or more workers have until January 2018 to comply. Reporting in San Francisco, I'm Lindsay Regis, State of Events.
Muni riders, if you are paying cash, then you are going to have to pay more cash. According to the San Francisco Examiner, last week, the San Francisco Transit Agency approved its 2017-2018 budget. Included in that budget, a 25-cent surcharge for riders who are paying with cash, bumping its current charge from $2.25 to $2.50. The idea is to try and encourage riders to use Clipper cards. The budget was unanimously approved, but still needs to go in front of the city's Board of Supervisors for final approval.
Well, they are sleek, they are clean, and quieter. We are talking about the new BART trains. BART officials unveiled one of the 775 trains which will be replacing the current fleet. The new cars are packed with upgrades, including central air conditioning, which flows from above to keep passengers cool during warm days. Plus, there are surveillance cameras, new seats, and larger spaces for those with disabilities. The upgrades are based on input gathered from the community and really meets the diverse needs of the passengers. Officials say throughout the next few months, more trains will come in and go online so they can hook them up and test them on the tracks. The goal is to have the new trains in the system starting next year.
Coming up after the break, we find where it may soon be legal to shoot up and what city keeps getting tagged.
At Habitat for Humanity, we make the dream of home ownership a reality. Working together, we can provide families a chance to succeed. Her new home allows her to focus on her studies.
Mom! Hey, look! I got an A!
Your investment gives Sabrina a better chance at a successful future. Habitat for Humanity, building homes and hope in Marin, San Francisco, and the Peninsula.
Welcome back to State of Events. In the East Bay, a 90-day moratorium on rent increases comes as a good news to Oakland residents. Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf says that over the next 90 days, there will be a lot of work done trying to solve the city's housing crisis. They will be looking for existing buildings that they can buy, fix up, and put affordability protections on to benefit the people already living in Oakland. Some housing advocates want the city to impose rent control on the city's housing market, but Mayor Schaaf says that is up to the voters. In order for that to happen, no-cause evictions would have to be placed on November's ballot.
Members of the Oakland City Council want voters to approve a soda tax for the November ballot. While the soda tax failed to pass in SF, Berkeley does have a policy in place that taxes sugary drinks. The Oakland measure would charge 1 cent per ounce on sugary beverages, such as juices and sodas. The new tax would raise money for wellness programs in local schools and communities to teach citizens about obesity and diabetes. Oakland Council members hope this tax will encourage residents to consume less sugary products. San Jose is increasing security at City Hall. That's in response to a recent string of vandalism incidents. The most recent incident happened 2 Mondays ago when graffiti was found at City Hall Plaza near the West Bench. The building was vandalized twice the week before that, and a city spokesperson says graffiti has been found nearly every night. The escalated vandalism has prompted the city to get more security guards who will be patrolling around on golf carts. More lights will also be added around the building.
A new proposal would allow people to use drugs legally without getting in trouble with the law. The catch? They would have to use those drugs at a supervised facility. A state lawmaker introduced the proposal in an effort to address the growing problem of drug overdoses in California. The bill would make it legal for health departments to allow the use of controlled substances in clinics that could offer medical intervention. Other lawmakers, though, seemed reluctant to support that measure, postponing the committee vote.
A Texas teacher from Ozone High School was arrested for assaulting a student on Friday. Mary Hastings, a geometry teacher, was taken into custody after the video surfaced of her repeatedly slapping a black student. The video doesn't show what happened leading up to the attack, but a student witness said the victim was asking about his grade. The teacher is now on administrative leave. Women are still not receiving equal pay for equal work. On average, women earn 79 cents for every dollar earned by men. For women of color, the gaps are even greater. Today is Equal Pay Day, but women have been fighting for this right since the 1920s. With recent help from movie stars, politicians, athletes, and the outcry of women across the world, many countries are just beginning to realize how this gap negatively affects all parties involved. Women make up more than half of the U.S. workforce. According to whitehouse.gov, working U.S. women will miss out on $431,000 in their lifetimes. This breaks down to about losing $10,000 a year. And again, the loss is even more for women of color. If women earn less money, they have less money to give to their families and ultimately less money to put back into our economy. It's clear, U.S. wages need to change.
Pope Francis released his latest apostolic exhortation, Joy of Love, over the weekend. An apostolic exhortation is a form of communication from the Pope to the Catholic Church. Many Catholics have yet to read the document, but others have already divided on its content. The letter is 265 pages long, but makes no major changes to the Church doctrine. Pope Francis does, however, lay out realistic guidelines for Catholics on topics like marriage, family, and sex. He believes families should use more of their own conscience to deal with family complexities. Francis also calls on priests to be more accepting of changing family dynamics.
Selling guns on social media, 3 prime ministers in trouble, and robots possibly taking our jobs. All coming up next on State of Events.
Chances of playing in the NFL, 1 in 1,500. Chances of becoming a pop star, 1 in 3,000. Chances of becoming a Hollywood actor, 1 in 5,000. Chances of getting into a school of your choice are better than 4 in 5. First round enrollment. It's for your family's future.
Welcome back to State of Events. Global news correspondent Kasia Pirog is here with what you need to know about what's going on in international news. Kasia?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's World News Update. The Panama Papers revelations keep on shaking countries all over the globe. Iceland was one of the very first countries deeply affected by this perhaps largest document leak in history. Icelanders take their frustrations to the streets of Reykjavik and protest. Their prime minister, who is believed to have millions of pounds allocated offshore, resigns his position. Icelanders feel betrayed, as this very same prime minister made a promise several years ago to keep all the funds within Iceland to build a stronger economy. Malta's prime minister, Josip Muscat, is in trouble as well. Thousands of people are demanding his immediate resignation from the office after his political allies' offshore accounts were revealed. Despite of big protests in front of the government's buildings, Muscat has not commented on the situation. The Panama Papers have stirred things up in Britain too. Although the British Prime Minister David Cameron has not been directly linked to any offshore accounts, his late father was. This revelation is leading many of Cameron's opposers to demand his resignation. Cameron is defending his ground, however, as he plans to introduce a new law to regulate tax evasion. If this proposition becomes a reality, companies will be held criminally liable if they fail to stop employees from tax evasion activities. Switching gears in today's update, we have some very important new information about the jihadi group that attacked Brussels in late March. According to French media, the Franco-Belgian terror cell did not intend to attack the Belgian capital at all. Instead, the terrorists were planning to strike during the Euro 2016 Soccer Championships, which will take place in France from June 10th to July 10th. A humanitarian disaster is near in the African country of Burundi. More than 250,000 people have fled the country in fear of President Nkurunziza's next term in office. Under his rule, Burundi has become a country of violence, intimidation, and murder. The refugee crisis seems to be worsening, and the economy is in pieces. International efforts and United Nations appeals have not been effective thus far. And that's all for today's news update. Back to you in the studio.
CNN failed to cover a major news story that was literally right under its nose. On April 3, 2016, thousands of Bernie Sanders supporters protested outside of CNN's headquarters in Hollywood. The Bernie followers were arguing that in comparison to coverage of Clinton and Trump, CNN fails to give the senator an equal amount of face time. Despite top trending hashtags like Occupy CNN and Bernie Blackout going viral across 3 different continents, only 2 LA news stations covered the protests. Could this be an accident? Some supporters think it's not. According to Hillary Clinton's campaign page, Time Warner is her 8th largest contributor, and CNN is owned by Time Warner. Bernie supporters continue to call CNN the Clinton News Network and demand to stop hiding Bernie. Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton are going head-to-head, and many people are wondering who will be victorious in the general elections. Ace Prado has more on this intense battle.
According to CNN, Bernie Sanders is calling out Hillary Clinton that she is, quote-unquote, not qualified to be the next president. The words between both Democratic candidates are escalating. However, Clinton denies the remark and questioned Bernie's interview with the New York Daily. Now Clinton is attacking Sanders, questioning if he is a Democrat. In the meantime, Bernie Sanders is planning to match President Obama's historic performance in 2008. Already, he is outperforming Hillary Clinton by energizing young voters. According to USA Today, Sanders receives 57% from the young voters, while 36% in the 26-34 age group. However, the statistics are opposite for Hillary Clinton. She receives 44% votes in 26-34 age group and only 25% in the younger crowd. In this presidential campaign, the Latino votes and young voters are extremely important because without their support, it is impossible for a candidate to make the general election. Huffington Post states that young voters are not afraid to vote for their hopes than their fears. However, the Yellow Educational and Projections explains 13 million Latino voters are expected to cast their votes in 2016 election. However, Hillary is winning the primaries with 1,790 votes, while Sanders received 1,113. The results will change both Democratic parties when the state of New York casts their votes on April 19th. This is it for today for Election Update.
More money, more problems. Mark Zuckerberg certainly has a lot of both. Here's Anton Lucktel with the story.
Facebook is under fire. Facebook pages that have been linked to terrorist groups have been seen selling guns, and the sellers claim these guns come from the CIA. Pages like these are clear in what kind of guns they are selling. On the other end, buyers can be frank with their request. One saying, "Quick friends, I need a gun with a silencer." Inquiries have been told to contact through WhatsApp. Streaming has become more and more prevalent in today's sports world. ESPN has begun pushing their Watch ESPN app, while Twitter has paired with the NFL to stream 10 Thursday night football games. Now Yahoo Sports has paired with Major League Baseball to stream 1 game per day online. In total, Yahoo will stream 180 games for the season, with commercial breaks too, just like you're watching TV. It'll be interesting to see what sports television's like in about 50 years. I hope I still have a job. Here's a fun story. Hanson Robotics is a company that specializes in making robots. They have developed a new robot that they hope can help with healthcare, therapy, and education. Check out what Sophia hopes she can do one day.
In the future, I hope to do things such as go to school, study, make art, start a business.
That's pretty interesting. Kind of scary though too. Well, that's it. Back to you guys in the studio.
Inflatable bunnies are taking over Civic Center Plaza, and the SF Giants are taking over AT&T Park for their first home game of the season. Next on State of Events.
I'm a pre-med student who is looking for a global health experience. I found Child Family Health International. I expected to be a visitor, but ended up completely immersed in the local culture. I wanted to meet people. Instead, I joined a family. I thought I would be reading textbooks. Instead, I gained clinical skills firsthand from local doctors. I wanted to change the world, and I let the world change me. Child Family Health International. How will you distinguish yourself? Visit cfhi.org.
Welcome back to State of Events. Coming up, Warriors look to tie the 95-96 Bulls record in San Antonio.
Plus, the Giants open their season at home against their arch rival, the LA Dodgers. You can't miss it. Jerry Burgos has all the sports.
The last time the Golden State Warriors won in San Antonio, lovers were celebrating Valentine's Day 1997. Tim Duncan was a senior at Wake Forest and now on the verge of retirement. And Steph Curry was only 8 years old. The Warriors are looking for win number 72. We go to the highlights in San Antonio. Steph Curry playing around at the beginning, doing a trust fall, but nobody was there. But you know who would show up? The San Antonio defense, holding the Warriors to 4 out of 19 shooting. Asili here trying to put it back, can't do it. Klay Thompson with the jumper, no good. Asili again with the putback, but it was not going to work. Second half, 35-35 at halftime. Here is LaMarcus Aldridge with the jumper. He would finish with 24 points, and then it was MVP time. Steph Curry from 3. Yes, sir. Again, Steph Curry, Iggy, all the way down to Steph. Bang! Steph Curry would finish the game with 37 points. Here's another one, taking it to the paint against David Green and one. The MVP showing off his muscles here. He definitely stepped up in one of his toughest arenas to play. Again, a steal late in the game by the Dubs to finish him up. Splash Brother to Splash Brother. And the easy 2 points for the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors would go on to win the game. Here's another Steph Curry dribbling through the defense and the jumper. And in the streak is now over. 33 regular season game losses at the AT&T Arena in San Antonio. The San Francisco Giants are back at home to open their 2016 season at AT&T Park. Giants fans and players were very excited to be in the ballpark. To be part of the Giants baseball history, State of Events reporter Victor Anguiano is live at AT&T Park, where he got the chance to be part of the Giant experience. Victor.
Thanks, Sherry. The Giants last season missed the playoffs, but it's an even year, and San Francisco thinks this is the year they can go all the way. In the offseason, they brought in help and added pitchers Chev Zamarsha, Johnny Cueto, and outfielder Denard Span. And after winning their season-opening series 2-1 in Milwaukee, the LA Dodgers are in town to open the Giants' regular season at AT&T. For Giants fans, it's an exciting time of year. From fan-made legend Kai Hutchins playing his traditional saxophone outside AT&T Park to Gordy Wife dancing inside the ballpark, Giants fans felt the need to make the trip down to Willie Mays Plaza to watch San Francisco. In front of a sold-out crowd, the black and orange rallied from behind to win 12-6 over NL West rivals.
Duffy scores. Crawford scores. Giants take the lead.
But the turning point of the game was in the bottom of the 8th when Giants outfielder Hunter Pence
high drive. Left field. It is out of here.
Hit the first grand slam for the Giants in the 2016 season and secured a giant win for the Giants while handing the LA Dodgers their first loss of the regular season.
They had a plan, they executed, knocked them out, and what an offensive explosion. 17 hits, 12 runs by the Giants.
But for Tony Medrano, coming to the ballpark to watch Los Gigantes open the regular season at AT&T has a special place in his heart.
This is my 26th opening day in a row. I am 26 years old. I was born on October 6th. So, 2 weeks after I was born, we had the big old earthquake, when we were playing the A's in the World Series. And after that, my dad's taken me to every single opening day since then.
Unlike Medrano, fans like Mike O'Hare rather go the extra mile when they come see the Giants play. Hare's been a Giants fan since the 80s. When I asked him how much his Giants suit cost, his response was, "I'd rather not say." And although Hare doesn't have much to say, Giants manager Bruce Bochy has plenty. Bochy is grateful for the support Hare and the rest of the Bay Area have given the Giants.
The whole atmosphere, when you stand up on that railing and you look around and it's a packed house every day, you really have to consider yourself fortunate.
As for the players, being part of a home opener is just as exciting as it is for a baseball fan.
When we get to these moments, and we have a home field advantage when we're here naturally during the season, but opening day just kind of reaffirms that, and I think that's what most of the guys enjoy.
I think we have some of the best fans of baseball, so to be able to come back here and play at this beautiful park in front of them, I think that's the best part.
I had a chance to talk to Giants fans after the game, and they said they expect the Giants to sweep the Dodgers. The Dodgers will be here until Sunday, but the key matchup is Saturdays when Madison Bumgarner and Clayton Kershaw take the mound. Jerry, back to you.
Thanks, Victor. The Giants will complete this 4-home game series behind pitching from Matt Cain, Madison Bumgarner, and Johnny Cueto. On to MLS soccer now. The San Jose Earthquakes taking a trip to Frisco, Texas to play the FC Dallas. Here comes Fabian Castillo into the box with the shot, but David Bingham takes it away 17 seconds in. 3 minutes later, Quincy America with the cross across the box, and Antonio Quintero with the right-footed strike. Goal. San Jose up 1-0. Here comes the play again. Quincy America with a great cross from the left side. The ball goes all the way across the box, and Quintero with the right-footed top corner. FC Dallas would get a PK call here after Sean Francis drops Hollenstad. Very clumsy defending by the defender of the San Jose Earthquakes. And here would be Tiesho Akindele from 12 yards out. 1-1, tying the game for FC Dallas. It was going to be a close contender in America again. This time for Chris Wondolowski with the left-footed strike and another goal. Wondolowski tying for 5 goals at the top of the scoring list. Quincy America with his second assist of the night. Here you have it again. America to Wando, and it's 2-1 San Jose. The Quakes would get unlucky here in the 62nd minute. Castillo with the ball in, and Victor Bernardes with the own goal. Very unfortunate. The match would end 2-2. We have a lot of things going on tomorrow. Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, says goodbye after 20 seasons with the Los Angeles Lakers. Also, the Golden State Warriors at Oracle Arena try to beat that record. 73 wins is what they're going for. We go back to you, ladies, in the studio. That's all for sports.
San Francisco's Civic Center Plaza is now home to 5 23-foot-tall inflatable bunnies. The large nylon animals glow in the dark and are part of a temporary public art installation. These rabbits are on a tour called Intrude and are visiting over 19 major cities. But the bunnies are not just for show. They represent the artist's environmental message of how humans displace creatures from our natural world. Due to the Super Bowl 50 vandalism, the art will be guarded 24/7 and are both water and fire resistant. The bunnies are hopping away on April 25th, so make sure you get down to the Civic Center and experience the art before then.
Have you seen the bunny experience?
No, I haven't.
Firsthand?
Have you?
No, I haven't, but I think it'd be really awesome to see 23-foot-tall bunnies in person.
Me too.
I think that'd be really cool.
I'm definitely going to try and go before they close it next week.
We should go together.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
Cool. Thank you for watching State of Events. I'm Haley Vetterline.
And I'm Maya Church. Tune in next week for our weekly news update.